Kliff, OU running game sort of kept you guys off the field longer than you probably like. How do you rectify that going against Oklahoma State?
Yeah, we talked about it with our guys. We got to get them off the field. We had a bunch of third and longs, and their quarterback, to his credit, stepped up and made big throws, and they were able to extend drives, and that's what really hurt us. But we'll just work at it. We took a look at the film, and we got to get guys in there that can sustain and hold up in the run game.
They get fatigue.
Possibly some of those longer drives when they had some 13, 12 play drives. I know the one was from the 3 all the way down, and I think that wore on them as the game went on. But we just gotta find ways to get them off the field.
So much would Sartwan Bush being back in the lineup help that?
He would help. He's a very talented player, senior leadership, and so we'll see. Hopefully that's sooner than later. I'm not sure about this week, but maybe for those last 3.
Did he do anything last week,
Dartwan? Just rehab. Is
the run defense concerned given Oklahoma State rolling kid was Big 12 Player of the Week from Saturday?
Yeah, they do a great job running it. Each game is different, and I thought OU had a good plan. They had a bunch of unbalanced stuff and just kept leaning on us. And like I said, I thought we had him off schedule a bunch of times where that kid stepped up and made on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, made big-time throws. So you got to give them credit, and we got to find ways to get off the field in those situations.
What do you expect to see from Oklahoma State's offense this week?
I mean, they're good. That offense that Dana took over there was one that, we were together in Houston for 2 years before he left, and so we're pretty familiar with that, and they're familiar with what we do. And they're used to scoring points, do a great job coaching their receivers, their quarterbacks, their O-line, and so, yeah, it's going to be a huge challenge.
Well, if you hadn't had much experience coaching kids back from losses, and this is your first time at it this year, how do you get the team kind of back up and able to perform well on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, as a coordinator, you've been there, and so we've lost before, not very often, which is a good thing, but it's a highly motivated group. You're coming back home to play against a team that's really embarrassed you the last 2 years, to put it bluntly. So I don't think there should be any problem in getting them motivated to play this game, and everything's out in front of them. If you wanted to win the Big 12, you're going to have to win the rest of the games anyways, and I think they see that.
More trickeration coming up on Saturday. You had 4 or 5 plays.
Yeah, I think we used it all up for the year, so I think that's it. No, our kids did a good job executing those. That's things we saw on film, and the timing we carried them throughout the year, and it just worked out with timing-wise. But that's game-by-game type situation.
Onside kick, was that something that just came to mind at the spur of the moment, or was that something that you thought about doing before you went into the game?
We, Summit Hogue had told me before that morning at breakfast, I better call it, because he'd been doing it all week and he had a good feeling about it. And so we went ahead and called it. But that was something we carried, and if we saw the right situation, we were going to call it.
I noticed you going and talking to the bench, Davis Webb, Jace, maybe Bradley. Did you tell them that was coming up to get ready to put your helmet back on?
Yeah, I just said we're about to get it back, so y'all get ready. Don't get too comfortable over here. And luckily they executed and made a play.
I assume you guys probably were executing those plays well in practice for you to call them.
We were, and it was stuff we'd seen on film that we thought we'd have a chance to do it. And against really good teams, sometimes you got to change it up a little bit. And I thought our kids believed in it and made it happen on a lot of those.
Did you kind of adopt the Boise State coach's mindset from a few years ago?
Yeah, I remember that. It wasn't that drastic, but like I said, it was just an opportunity we saw, and we're not going to be afraid to pull the trigger if we think it's there.
Same lines Coach Leach used to talk about if players had a play on PlayStation that worked, they bring it in, they try it out. Are you guys looking for plays like that? You see something and you try it out in practice, see if it works? Yeah,
no question. If they have ideas, we'll check it out. And a lot of times during their summer workouts, they'll come up with routes or signals or plays, and usually if they believe in it, they're going to make it work, even if you think it's the dumbest play of all time. So that's kind of our philosophy, and so we're not afraid to try new things.
Have you pinpointed what it was in the first quarter into the second quarter that got into their territory, looked like you were going to be able to score? Have you pinpointed what the issue was? Was it the crowd? Was it Davis's inexperience in that situation?
Right. I think, we were all a little juiced up there and probably trying a bit too hard. And there were a couple of tough penalties. The pass interference comes to mind that pushed us way back. But yeah, to be on that side of the 50 and not get points out of all those trips, you're not going to beat a team like that without taking advantage of those.
How do you rectify that?
Just get better. That's it. Yeah, I don't have any special answers for that. Just no, not on that deal. Just have to get better this week.
Could you speak to offensive holding theoretically and maybe how that call has changed? Because it's becoming rarer and rarer that it's called.
It is. They let them play, and they say it all the time. If you wanted to call, you probably could on every play. And so I don't know if it's going away as much, but they do seem to let the kids play more, which I think is good for the game. Nobody wants to stop 30 times a game and have holding called.
Kliff, did the losses eat at you, or can you get past them pretty quickly?
24 hours and I'm good. Yeah, so it's tough there for a little bit, but there's so much to play for, and like I said, it's all out in front of us if we approach it the right way.
Oklahoma played jump around in 2008. They played it again at the end of the game. What was your response to that?
Yeah, that's cool. They were jumping around. I think it's a cool atmosphere. They were excited and fired up about the win, which they should be. It was a good football game and great atmosphere, and so my hat's off to them.
Along the lines of the penalties again, that's one area you guys have really improved on. What's been the biggest difference from the start of the season to now?
Just emphasis. We started off pretty rocky, and I think the last few games we've limited it, and we're going to have to if we want to get where we want to be. That's a big step in the right direction coming from last year. I know we're still in the bottom half, but if we can improve from last, that's a step forward.
Last time you guys got Oklahoma State in for a 6 o'clock kick, you were able to win that game. How important is it to kind of recreate that atmosphere, and how important do you think the student section, what kind of role was it playing in that game?
It'll be a huge deal. It's going to hopefully be rocking. It's going to be our last night game for the year, and I know our students love those night games. So I'm hoping that they'll bring the energy, bring the passion like they have in all the other ones, and get ready to have a fun night.
Can you tell me what you think about your players and just players generally being baited into interactions with upset fans on Twitter, and what he thinks of fans tweeting vitriol at the players?
Yeah, it's just the society we're in. You can't keep it from happening. I don't think our players should really get involved with it, but they're young and they're very volatile at times, and so I can see why they go back and forth. But it's just part of society right now.
Discourage them from doing that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't encourage it. I just don't have much say over their personal lives at that point.
When you were playing, Texas Tech seemed to dominate Oklahoma State. Now Mike Gundy's come in and really has turned the tables. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, they've had our number here for a few years, but each year is different. So.
When was that Oklahoma State team that you were playing?
I mean, they always had good teams. We played against Les Miles, and he had good squads, and Coach Gundy's done a great job there. The facility upgrade has helped a lot, and they've had some really good players come through over the last few years. So it's going to be a huge challenge.
Jay said the number 98 was up around the locker room and whatnot because of the margin of defeat the last couple of years. How did that kind of come about?
Yeah, I mean, that's close to 100, and that's what they beat us by the last 2 years. So I just wanted to make sure that they knew that, and hopefully they have some pride in themselves when they see that.
You're right.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures of the little kids dressing up like you for Halloween?
I did. The one kid nailed it. That was really good. Yeah, he nailed it. He had it all, so that was good.
What are you going as for Halloween?
Nothing this year. Nothing. Just hanging out. Not a lot of places to go from me here, so I'll be at my house.
If on the first interception on Saturday, was Bradley in the wrong place, or did Davis?
No, it was Davis was just fired up and taking a shot, but that's not exactly where we wanted it to go. We had some other options on that play, and he was just fired up and going for the gusto, but that wasn't really the correct throw at that time.
So the ball should have gone where? At that point?
Should have just checked it down. We had a couple guys running pretty open, but like I said, that's a freshman trying to make a play, and he's just going for it.
What is feelings towards
Raiderville? It's been awesome. I'd love to have it back. I remember when they were really rolling in 08, there was people there on Monday, Tuesday setting up, and it's fun for the players to come to the building and walk through that and see that. It's just a great vibe when you're winning at that level.
Is Davis going to start this weekend?
Davis will start this week. Yeah, he's earned that with his play these last few weeks, and so he'll get the nod this week.
Is he checking off more than we think, or is it more of a perception?
No, he's getting us into some good plays, and I think that'll continue to grow as he grows as a player. But he's done a good job with the mental side of things for being a true freshman and not playing a ton yet.
How have you seen him rebound from his first career loss on Saturday?
He's handled adversity really well this year, from not getting the nod, being the starter. He's going to bounce back and try to be better than ever, and that's been his mentality since he's got here.
Cliff, some folks have wondered regarding Michael Brewer, is he fully available to you, and if so, is he just too far behind Davis to be an option right now?
Yeah, that's a tough question because fully available means can he roll out there and play right away, and he missed a lot of football. So he's still working on his game and getting back in football shape and things of that nature. But health-wise, we feel pretty good about putting him in a game.
But physically, there's no.
Physically, we feel good about him. Yeah, we just got to get him caught up in some areas.
What's the key to stopping Oklahoma State's receiving core?
Yeah, I don't have an answer. You need to get pressure on the quarterback and got to get your hands on him. You can't let those guys run free in space. Stewart's one of the best in the conference, one of the best in the country, and he's a guy who makes plays for him each and every week. So got to know where he's at all times.
Expecting any special guests considering the pro players that are on bye weeks this week?
I don't know. I haven't talked to any of them, but that'd be cool if a couple of them came back.
You think that's the key matchup, your secondary against their receivers is coming up?
Yeah, I think all over. I think our D-line has to step up big with what I saw them do in the run game last week, Oklahoma State. We're going to have to really play well up front, and then receivers have to hold up because the quarterback's experienced guy has been in that system a long time, and he knows where to go with it.